Before the money, before the fame, before the millions of fans chanting his name, there was a boy, a skinny, fast kid, running barefoot through the dusty streets of Madeira, Portugal. His name? Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro. Born in a small room, the youngest of four siblings, to a cook and a gardener, no one imagined that this kid raised in one of the poorest neighborhoods on the island would one day become the most followed man on earth. Cristiano's home wasn't glamorous. Sometimes there wasn't enough food for everyone. Sometimes he slept on the same mattress with his brother. Sometimes he cried quietly, so no one would see. But even as a child, there was something different about him. A fire, a hunger, not just for food, but for greatness. He didn't just want to play football, he wanted to dominate it. At school, teachers described him as restless. He'd skip class to play. He'd run for hours, chasing a ball made of rags or plastic bags. While other kids laughed, Cristiano trained. While others slept, he imagined himself wearing a Portugal jersey, scoring goals in front of the world. At just 8 years old, he joined a local club called Andorinha where his father worked part-time as a kit man. The field was rough, the uniforms were second-hand, but Ronaldo didn't care. He was the fastest, the strongest, the most obsessed. He wasn't just a child playing football, he was a warrior in the making. By the time he was 12, his talent was undeniable. Scouts from the mainland saw something rare, something raw and tamed, powerful. That same year, Cristiano made the biggest sacrifice of his young life. He left his home, his island, his mother's cooking, his father's hugs, everything he knew to move alone to Lisbon and join the Sporting CP Academy. He was 12 years old, and from that moment on, nothing would ever be the same. Lisbon, a city of lights, cars, noise, and loneliness. Cristiano was only 12 when he arrived, a suitcase full of dreams and a heart full of fear. He didn't know anyone. He didn't know the city. He barely even understood the accent. He was just a boy, surrounded by strangers, hundreds of miles from home. The Sporting CP Academy was a battlefield. Talent everywhere, pressure every second. Kids stronger, taller, older. And then, there was Cristiano. Small, skinny, with a strange accent from the islands. They laughed at him, mocked him, called him names, but he didn't fight them with words. He fought with action. Every insult, another push-up. Every doubt, another sprint. Every tear at night, fuel for the morning. He trained harder than anyone, stayed after practice, did extra sit-ups, push-ups, drills. His coaches had never seen a kid so obsessed. They told him to rest. He refused. They told him to slow down. He trained harder, but it wasn't just football. He missed his mom. He missed home. He'd call crying, saying, "I want to come back." But his mother, Maria Dolores, told him, "You are stronger than this. Show them who you are." And so, he stayed, not because it was easy, but because he made a decision. He would not go back empty-handed. While others played for fun, Cristiano played like his life depended on it, because in his mind, it did. This wasn't just a game. It was a way out of poverty, out of pain, out of being forgotten. He had no plan B. No backup dream. Only football, only forward. And in those cold Lisbon nights, a legend was forming. Cristiano could have settled. He had already achieved what millions only dream of. But Ronaldo wasn't built for comfort. He was built for legacy. At Manchester United, he had tasted glory, FA Cups, Premier League titles, Champions League. But there was a fire in his chest that refused to go out. He wanted to be the best in history. Not just a star, not just a millionaire. He wanted to be immortal. So in 2009, he made the biggest move in football history, 94 million euros. Real Madrid. The pressure? Unimaginable. The expectations? Ruthless. But Ronaldo didn't flinch. From the very first day in Madrid, he trained like a soldier, arriving before everyone, leaving after everyone. No alcohol, no parties, no distractions. Just a ball, a dream, and the obsession to destroy every limit. In his first season, he scored 33 goals in 35 games. The media called him a machine. But inside, he was still that poor kid from Madeira, haunted by hunger, driven by pain. Then came the rivalry, Lionel Messi. Two forces of nature, two different styles, but only one crown. The world watched as they pushed each other beyond human limits. Hat-trick after hat-trick, record after record. They weren't just playing football, they were rewriting what was possible. And Ronaldo, he embraced the challenge. Every time he was doubted, he answered with goals. Every time he was booed, he silenced them with greatness. Behind the scenes, he was training while others slept. He studied his own matches, analyzed his body, perfected every shot, every sprint, every angle, because in his mind, He wasn't just competing with Messi. He was chasing perfection itself, and slowly, it became clear. This wasn't about proving people wrong. It was about proving something to himself, that the boy from Madeira, the boy who cried alone in a dorm, could become the greatest to ever do it. Fame. Money, trophies, the world applauded Cristiano Ronaldo, but very few saw the cost behind the glory, because greatness, it's not free. Behind the spotlight, there were sacrifices no camera could capture, birthdays missed, family far away, nights alone in hotel rooms with nothing but pain and pressure. He wasn't just an athlete. He was a brand, an empire, a global icon, and with that came the weight of perfection. He couldn't fail. He couldn't rest. He couldn't even breathe wrong without the world judging him. Every game, cameras followed his every move, every word, twisted by the media, every goal, expected, every mistake, magnified. People thought he was arrogant, but what they didn't see was the boy inside the man, still fighting, still hungry, still haunted. He wasn't chasing applause. He was chasing purpose. He wanted to be more than just a footballer. He wanted to be a role model for the kid who had nothing, for the dreamers with empty pockets but burning hearts. So he kept going. When his body ached, he trained harder. When he was criticized, he smiled and scored again. Injuries came, setbacks came, but nothing could break him. He rebuilt his body again and again. He adapted, evolved, transformed. He wasn't just fast. He became explosive. He wasn't just strong. He became a machine. At 30, most players slow down. But Ronaldo, he got faster, stronger, better, because he refused to be ordinary. He knew the truth. Talent is a gift, but greatness is a decision. And Ronaldo made that decision every single day. If club success defined his career, then international glory defined his soul. For Cristiano Ronaldo, playing for Portugal wasn't just about pride, it was personal. Because while the world worshipped his club triumphs, there was always one question hanging over his head. But what has he done for his country? And for years, that question burned in his chest. In 2004, a young Ronaldo cried after losing the Euro final on home soil. He had just turned 19. The pain was unforgettable, but that day, a fire lit inside him. He made a silent promise. One day, I will bring glory to Portugal. And he never let go of that dream. Year after year, he gave everything for his nation. He bled for the badge. He carried them through qualifiers, scored when no one else could. But glory? It kept slipping through his fingers. Until 2016, the Euros, Portugal made it to the final again. This time, against France, in Paris. The pressure was overwhelming. And in the 25th minute, disaster. Ronaldo goes down, injured, in tears, carried off the pitch. It looked like the dream was over, but even from the sidelines, he became something more. A leader, a warrior, a voice screaming with passion, arms waving, eyes blazing. He coached, he inspired, he willed them to believe, and in the 109th minute, Eder scores. Portugal wins. Tears flow again, but this time, tears of victory. Cristiano Ronaldo, finally, a champion for his country. And in that moment, he wasn't just a footballer, he was a national hero, a symbol of resilience, proof that dreams come true even when it hurts. Then came 2019, the Nations League, another final, another trophy, and through it all, Ronaldo never stopped giving. Even in his late 30s, he continued to show up, to run, to lead, to inspire, because for him, it was never just about football, it was about legacy, about representing every kid who thought they weren't enough, about lifting a country on his back.